Good evening. Welcome to ringside at the Deutschlandhalle in Berlin. An evening of World Championship Boxing. Chris Eubank, Graciano Rocchigiani at stake, the WBO World Super Middleweight title. And I can tell you the atmosphere here is absolutely out of this world. It's more like a film set than a boxing arena, I can tell you. Something like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. But the only close encounters we're going to get tonight is championship boxing, as this man here, Rocchigiani, challenges Eubank for his world title. Barry, some kind of atmosphere here tonight.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's just fantastic. It reminds me of the King's Hall back in the mid-80s. Incredible, absolutely. This guy making all sorts of threats. He said he's going to push Eubank to the limit. He's going to exhaust him. He's going to throw punches non-stop. He's going to put him under so much pressure. He's going to have to fight 180 seconds of every round. We're looking forward to it. It's a superb atmosphere. And if this guy is going to come up trumps and prove that he can actually do what he says he's going to do, it's going to be a hell of a fight.
Well, in he gets. Graciano Rocchigiani, there he is. Look at that, an unblemished record. Former IBF champion of the world, European champion, undefeated. So for that matter is Chris Eubank. So tonight, in that old boxing cliche, something has got to give. So Rocchigiani, and as you can see, a tribute to his parentage. He has an Italian father, a German mother, and he has the German and Italian flags etched into his hair. And here is the man. Simply the best. The Tina Turner song that we have heard so many times before. Chris Eubank having his 14th world title fight tonight.
Yes, as disdainful as ever towards the crowd, the partisan crowd dislike him. He doesn't give a damn. He thrives on this sort of atmosphere. He's an unusual, a strangely unusual guy. He just, look at him, he's punching at this guy that stuck his hand out to shake hands with. My God, there you have it. Eubank doesn't like any of these Germans. He's gonna make it and rub it into them as much as he can. Look at him there, he just loves that.
Well, I tell you, he's taking a big step into the unknown tonight. He's got 11,000 people who want to see him get beaten, and that's perhaps unusual situation for Eubank to be in. Well, let's see how he treats this crowd. Is he going to stand and try and stare them down, I wonder? He is, you know. Unbelievable, this man. He's a one-off. He's a law unto himself. He'll come over the top rope. We know that. He's done it too many times before for tonight to be any different. And I wonder what Rocchigiani makes of all this. It must get to him. It surely must. Over he goes. Struts around the ring. It's his turf, this arena. Barry Hearn there, who has guided him to the position he is in tonight. And a mixture of bewilderment and antagonism from the German crowd. Presentation sponsored by the Daily Mirror and the Sunday Mirror. And the MC Gerhard Müller takes over the spotlight as we look at Chris Eubank's record. Here we go. 37 fights. The last two drawn against Nigel Benn and Ray Close, and only one stoppage win since that ill-starred second meeting with Michael Watson. The crowd shouting Rocky, Rocky, Rocky for Rocchigiani. I have to say, Barry, he looks a little bit tense to me.
Yeah, I've never seen him fight before, so I can't really tell, but he looks a typical sort of European, from what I've seen and what I read about him. He looks like his usual sort of stand-up fairly frail looking. You know, obviously, he's fought at light heavyweight before, but the crowd are really getting behind him. They love him over here. He's really big. He's big time.
Well, the first southpaw that Eubank has fought since Gary Stretch, but Gary Stretch was really nothing more than a puffed-up light middle. This guy is a genuine super middle, 12 stone. Well, a study in arrogance for Eubank. As always in the corner tonight, he will have Ronnie Davis, the man he calls the human pit bull. He'll have his own New York trainer, Massimiliano Perret, and Freddie King will take care of the cuts. Gerhard Muller telling the crowd about the referee and officials. That is the referee. His name is Gino Rodriguez. He comes from Chicago in Illinois. And we have 3 ringside judges. Mike Gliana from Chicago, Cesar Ramos from the Dominican Republic, and Frank Skilbred from Orlando in Florida.
I want you to obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Good luck to you. Touch love.
Oh, good, clear, concise instructions from Gino Rodriguez. 12 rounds. Eubank against Rocchigiani. At stake, Eubank's title. At stake for them both, an unbeaten record. So an unbelievable atmosphere. I tell you, we're having to shout to make ourselves heard. But we'll get through. And Eubank's toughest fight for a very, very long time. Gino Rodriguez checks with the timekeeper. Eubank ready for work. So here we go with round 1.
Eubank with his usual strutting.
So, good positive start by Eubank. Round 1. Eubank in the yellow, Rocchigiani in the black. And very important to get control in the early stages.
Eubank is, this is silly, this sort of strutting about like this. Just posing, and it's a chance to have a rest. Rocchigiani is at the same old caper. Eubank's doing the right thing, Dave. He's whacking him around the body. That's the main thing. Keep banging away at the body. Big, tall guy, and obviously strained to make the weight. Just keep whacking him to the solar plexus. Banging away there.
Well, the German adopting this peekaboo defensive style. A good positive start this by Chris Eubank. Now, it's open to argument whether these punches that Rocchigiani is taking on the forearms will actually count as scoring punches. Up to the individual judges, I guess they shouldn't, because they're not on the target area. But nevertheless, you start banging the arms hard enough and long enough, sooner or later they'll come down.
Yeah, he's banging the body pretty good. When he punches to the body, those are solid punches, no doubt about that. You see the way he's exposing his ribs there, Rocchigiani. He's putting his hands in, but look at the way those floating ribs are wide open, and Eubank is coming around the side of the elbow and landing some good solid body punches.
Well, this is absolutely the start that the champion wanted. The challenger scarcely thrown a shot yet, and I did think he looked a little bit tense when he got into the ring. It's possible to freeze on occasions like this. The atmosphere is so daunting.
Yeah, you would think the fact that he was world champion himself, that it wouldn't really have an effect on him, but there's no doubt I've rarely heard of such a partisan crowd before, and I'm sure it must be getting to him slightly. But this is a good opening round from Eubank. Won this round easy.
Well, I'm sure you all know about Rocchigiani's bad boy reputation. He loves a bit of a tear-up. Unquestionably Eubank's round. Unquestionably. Welcome back to the Deutschlander Halle. David Brenner, Barry McGuigan with you at ringside. The start of round 2 of this 12-round championship bout for Chris Eubank's WBO super middleweight title. Eubank in his lucky yellow shorts. Rocchigiani, the challenger, in black. Have to give the first round to Eubank, Barry.
Yeah, Eubank started off very positively. Rocchigiani is actually spent the first 3 minutes of that round with his hands up high. If he's going to impress and he's going to apply pressure to Eubank, he's got to get his hands going like that. He's got to move his hands more. You can't just walk in like that with your hands high without delivering punches. The idea of keeping the hands up high is obviously to apply the pressure to Eubank with minimum risk, but you've got to let your hands go when you get up close.
And you don't win world titles without throwing punches, and Rocchigiani isn't throwing too many at this stage. And I must admit, on the evidence of just a round and a half boxing, I'm a little bit puzzled as to the cautious start made by the German challenger. He's got everything going for him. He's got the backing of the crowd, and he's got the respect of the British press, which is rare. They regard him as a genuine live challenger for Eubank's title, unlike some of his previous opponents.
Yeah, well, this guy did say in the papers that he was going to go out and bombard Eubank, apply the pressure and make him fight for 180 seconds of every round. But up to now, he's been doing little punching, applying a bit of pressure and getting up on top of Eubanks, but not delivering enough punches. Eubanks is doing all the scoring and then moving around at his leisure.
Well, that's quite right. The suggestion has been made that perhaps at the age of 30, Graciano Rocchigiani has taken this as maybe one last big payday. You've all, I'm sure, read about the bad boy image, so we won't go into that. Unnecessary. We're here to watch him box, not the judge's past. But it is a fact that he's just fought a couple of times in the last year or so, and against really very, very ordinary opposition. And this is a real step up in class against Chris Eubank. And at the moment, the champion is in the driving seat.
Yeah, good attack there from Eubank. A couple of good solid blows came through. And Rocchigiani actually complained about the punches being low. Now, those are on top of the... If you actually watch those punches, they're on top of the cup protector. And if you look at Rocchigiani's... Watch his shorts are actually up above his navel, and the legal limit is the navel. So the blows that land on the waistband should be legal punches.
Well, to the best of my knowledge, the belt that they talk about, this mysterious line, the belt, runs across the top of the hip bones.
No.
And Eubank, as you say, legal punches, struts back to the corner. Look at that. What a fabulous arena this is, isn't it? Absolutely breathtaking in its size and intensity. We're in the Rocchigiani corner. He's managed by Klaus-Peter Kohl. He's got Wolfgang Wilke in the corner with him. And I don't know what your German's like. Mine's not existent.
I'm afraid mine is the same. Tried an uppercut here, Rocchigiani, but Eubank actually saw that on its way, pulled his head back a bit, so he took the sting out of that blow. Again, these are probably the only clean punches that Rocchigiani actually left.
Them out from the elbow, though.
Yeah, they're all arm punches. There's no power behind them at all.
So, on my card, at any rate, first 2 rounds to the champion, but we have to bear in mind that the judges, well, they shouldn't be, but it's only human nature to be swayed by the crowd. At the moment, Gino Rodriguez hasn't had too much to do. Third man in the ring. And if Rocchigiani's plan is to stay with Eubank to the halfway stage and then maybe step up the game. It's a dangerous tactic. Once you've surrendered the initiative in a fight, it's so hard to get it back.
Yeah, Eubank is not, he's fighting for the centre of the ring. He's not allowing Rocchigiani to force him back. He's fighting back now. Rocchigiani's actually throwing more punches, but Eubank is, look at, he's fighting to get to the centre of the ring. He's forcing him back, throwing a combination to the head and to the body. Good right hand, again, landed just in the bottom of the elbow, and those body shots, he's trying to come round the elbow. Those are good shots. You see the way he's inching forward here, taking control. Good attack by Rocchigiani all the same.
I can't recall ever seeing Eubank work too much to the body in past fights, but he's certainly doing that tonight. Oh, that was a little bit low. That was a little bit low.
That was definitely low. But if you watch what happened there, his head was forced down, but he did throw a low blow. Really low. Didn't stop him throwing a good body shot there again.
Well, this is 6 a dozen of one, 6 of one, half a dozen of another, I should say, because Eubank is ducking down quite low, but then again, the German is forcing him down as well, sort of exaggerating the effect.
Yeah, he tried his Sunday punch there, the uppercut didn't land. This is a more even round. Rocchigiani is now sort of doing what he promised he'd do.
And 11,000 people in the crowd getting behind him. The shouts and the chants of Rocky, Rocky. And I've got to say, I'm impressed by the start Eubank has made. End of the third. I've got to give him that round as well. I know you've got it level, Barry. I just signed with the champion. And once again, the camera pulls out to give us a view of this marvellous, marvellous arena. My goodness, we've been to places, well, you and me, Barry, we've been to the King's Hall, we've been to GMEX, we've been to the Scottish Exhibition Centre, the NEC in Birmingham, but never an atmosphere like this.
No, definitely one-sided fans here for Rocchigiani. Bit of scar tissue on that right eye, you can see. He must be implying, telling him to get on with it, come forward, force the fight, make him fight.
So coming up to the end of the minute break, spot on. We come out for round 4.
Eubank's doing the right thing there. What he's doing is he's just tapping him with his hands. If he can't get through there, so he's just pushing him back, and then he's whacking the body with real power shots. He's just putting those punches up to force him back, and then he's banging in those body shots once he stops moving. Rocchigiani, and right
Try the right
again.
uppercut, yes indeed. No, I don't know how much of this fight plan of Eubank's is his own, or how much is down to Ronnie Davis and Massimiliano Perret, but he's fighting a different sort of fight tonight. We haven't seen any of these big wild swings, have we, Barry?
No, he's started off pretty good, you know, and he's kept winning the rounds, and he's just sort of shading the rounds up to now. He's doing enough, and he's taking the centre of the ring. He's not allowing Rocchigiani to force him back, and he's banging the body pretty good. And I like the way he's whacking the body, but he is sort of picking up. He's picking up the occasional clean punch from Rocchigiani, but Rocchigiani is not punching enough. He's being offensive, and he's forcing Eubank to fight but he's not throwing enough punches himself.
There's the Eubank crew in the yellow tracksuits in his corner. Midway through this, round 4.
What Eubank is doing is he's actually slipping that right hand. When Rocchigiani comes in, he puts the head down and lets the right hand sail right over his head, and he just rolls in and underneath it. It's a good tactic. It means you don't have to get out of punching range, and it doesn't take too much out of you. Just drop down and let the shot go over your head. But what he should be doing is coming back with a punch himself. He means those body shots, Dave. See the way he's sinking the shots into the body, really banging them in with all his weight.
Yes, there's no denying that they're very effective shots. And when you've got a guy who may have weighed 12 stone at the weigh-in last night, he's probably getting into the ring, what, 12.4, 5, 6, 7 even.
Yeah, you can bet your life Eubank will come in around 13 stone or just under. He'll gain weight overnight. He's a big guy and he fills up overnight with lots of liquid. A good round again and good attacks. His body shots are good, and Eubank is landing the cleaner and the better quality punches.
Another Eubank pose as he walks back to his corner, struts back to his corner might be a more accurate phrase. Welcome back, and as they come out for round 5, I have to say it's the champions fight so far. Chris Eubank in yellow, and Rocchigiani got to start doing some work sooner or later if he wants to stay within touching distance.
He's just got to start punching more. He's moving up on Eubank pretty good. He's cutting the ring down pretty good too. Complaining to the referee there to ask Eubank to fight. That's a bit ridiculous. Eubank is all at this fancy dance stuff, and it's going to get a warning again for that. It's a good referee, actually.
And you can hear from the whistles what the crowd thought of that.
You see what Rocchigiani's doing too. He's forcing Eubank down when he comes down like that. He's leaning on top of him. It's a good tactic too. It tires your opponent out. A messy round up to now, but Eubank now trying to fight for the centre of the ring. And Rocchigiani's doing the better work in this round. Up to now, he's throwing better punches. Nice, straight, accurate punches and forcing Eubank to fight back.
Yes, much better this from the challenger. And the crowd respond to the action in the ring with support of their own as we reach the midway point of the round. And Rocchigiani giving his supporters pained looks.
He's forcing him down. That's the right from the referee. He's doing the right thing, Dave. Telling him to stop forcing him down. Okay, there's one thing Eubank moving about and keeping his upper body moving and leaning down like that, but you can't force him down.
Yeah, he's coming on with a bit of the old Madden, Rocchigiani. I think he's been taking lessons from the German football team. He's just as much to blame as Eubank is.
Indeed. But he's definitely fighting better in this round. He's doing more punching.
If he did more punching and less complaining, he'd make this a better fight. But he is having a good round, the challenger. Let's not take that away from him. That's better. That's better from Rocchigiani. You've got to keep on. If you're going to beat Eubank, you've got to keep on top of him for 3 minutes every round. That's what he said he was going to do. He hasn't done it yet.
Yeah, that's the way to crack him. You've got to stay on him. You've got to force him to fight. You've got to give him no room to breathe and make him work and work and work. And he has lacked stamina up to now, Chris. And that's the way you got to make him expend all his energy. Better round from Rocchigiani, no doubt about that. The crowd getting ecstatic there.
Good round. Challengers round. There we go. That's what they thought of it. Nice way to spend a Saturday night. A few bottles, a little bit to eat with your mates. And a jolly good boxing bill as well. As he's been keeping the barber busy. Around the other side of the head, there's the Italian flag. The German flags for Mum, the Italian flags for Dad. He was born in Rheinhausen. And is now billed out of Berlin.
Good attack here from Rocchigiani. That's what he's doing. He's pumping that straight left hand right down the pipe of Eubank. This is where the referee actually indicated that Eubank shouldn't force himself with his shoulder, force him back with his shoulder, give him a big push.
So we're coming up to the halfway stage now. This is the beginning of round 6. Chris Eubank from England, the champion, in the yellow. Graciano Rocchigiani from Germany, challenger in black. And so far, well, you could say 3 Eubank, 1 even, 1 to the challenger, or 4 Eubank, 1 to the challenger. But whichever way you look at it, I think you have to admit that Eubank is in front at this time. Rocchigiani really does need to be more positive.
Those are solid blows there from Eubank. Now, you can really feel him whacking in here. He's digging his heels in and he's really putting power in those body punches. The ones to the head, he's just jabbing and look at these, they're just little taps. He wants to get through with those solid punches. And again, he's taking control of the fight from the centre of the ring.
Let's go, second time, bring him up, let's go, bring him up.
Yeah, that's a wee bit unfair of the referee. Those punches, again, if you get a look at that after the round ends, they're not actually below the belt. They're on top of the waistband.
Step back, let's go.
And I tell you, this crowd should be worth a couple of rounds to the challenger.
See what he's doing, Dave? He's forcing Eubank back, but he's doing little punching. Eubank's punching back away, punching away. And although they're hitting him on the gloves, a lot of them are getting through. And Rocchigiani hasn't been doing much punching up to now.
And there are signs that the German is edging his way back into this contest, which will be certainly an encouragement to his corner and his supporters. Took the last round on my card, and he's not doing so badly in this one either. That was a bit naughty. That was a bit naughty. And that's a nice touch. Back with Rocchigiani and his corner man, Wolfgang Wilke.
Good left hand there from Rocchigiani, straight through, right down on the edge of Eubank's jaw. But Eubanks has got a real knack of moving his head, and what that does is it takes this thing completely out of the punch. And, you know, it's obviously a thud, but you don't feel it with the same effect.
We're in the 7th now. And if Eubank does have a stamina problem, it'll be from here on in that problem will make itself apparent. And if Rocchigiani's game plan has to be there or thereabouts at the halfway stage and then step on the gas, well, we're going to start seeing it. Or we should start seeing it. And I've certainly given him the last two, and he's made a good, positive start in this round too, as the German.
Well, Eubank's taking a breather now. He's moving around. Again, the German forced his head down. Eubank hit on top of the cup again. Nothing too dangerous, but Rocchigiani forced his head down. And this is where it goes down the straight that Eubank is going to have have it done his hard, heavy work on the road and plenty of heavy sparring. Again, those punches were on the top of the cup. They weren't low. But this is Rocchigiani's round. He's forcing the champion back, and Eubank is not punching enough.
No, he should stop doing that. I don't like to see one fighter try to get another fighter in trouble with the referee. And now look at the German's right arm, and look at where Eubank's head is under his left armpit. He's certainly not blameless, and he's coming on like an injured party, and he really doesn't need to do that. Good left hook, just missed, and again that missed too.
You see, when Rocchigiani starts opening up and throwing punches himself, Eubank is able to hit him clean. Up to now, he hasn't hit him with anything really damaging because Rocchigiani's hands are tight around his chin. Not doing an awful lot of punching, but his hands are tucked up right around the old Vera Lynn.
Well, we've often said, haven't we, that challengers have got to go out and win a world title. They've got to drag that title away from the champion. And it's only in the last couple of rounds that Rocchigiani has shown signs that he's prepared and willing to do that.
See, again, he's forcing the champion's head down. Look, oh, a bit naughty that, and that's ridiculous. He can't do that, he's right. His nasty boy image is coming out there, Dave.
Well, he's certainly a lad. He gives lie to the belief that being a boxer keeps you out of trouble. And Eubank reckons he's got this sussed. There's all the various television monitors, all the electrical wizardry that's beaming this fight all around the world. Well, he doesn't want any water. And I'm afraid the extent of my German is I could tell you if he orders a beer, because I can understand that, but I think he's unlikely to at this stage of proceedings.
It's not going to help him.
I'm not going to tell you no more. Don't bring him down, all right?
Now, that was illuminating from referee Gino Rodriguez. Did you hear what he said? Don't hold him down. Don't bring him down. So, good refereeing indeed from Gino Rodriguez as we come out for the start of round 8. Still got Eubank in front, but that lead is gradually getting eroded by the challenger. Eubank reported to be getting around $1 million for this fight tonight, and it could be, if he loses, could be his last big payday for a very, very long time. Calculated gamble he's taken to come to Germany.
This is good work from Eubank. He knows he's got to win these late rounds to be sure here in Germany. He's got to make sure that if the fight's close, he's got to pull it out in the late stages of the round. He assured me he trained hard for it. He's been doing 8 miles on the road and everything else, and we'll soon find out whether that's true or not, because it looks like this one's going to go the full hog. He's going to have to fight, and he's going to have to fight right to the last bell, because it is getting close, and I have him a couple of rounds ahead too, but the German's putting his foot on the pedal and he's getting closer. Eubank's got to dominate the fight. Got to take it from the center and just dominate.
And once again, every little flurry that comes from Rocchigiani sends the crowd into raptures. And once again, the chants of Rocky come up. I'm not sure what was attracting Chris's attention just then. There's a tiny little enclave of British supporters here, boys from the British Army on the Rhine. They've come to watch Chris Eubank. Had his first 5 professional fights in Atlantic City, did Eubank, won them all on points over 4 rounds. Since then, he's never left the British Isles until now. And once again, good work from the challenger.
Yeah, good attack from Rocchigiani, but Eubank has won the first part of the round. And if he can finish the round strong, he can get this one too. He's forcing the challenger back. He's doing most of the scoring for the last 10-15 seconds. Rocchigiani threw a few clusters of punches, but Eubank's been doing the forcing. Watch him stepping forward again.
Close round, and it's at this stage you wonder how the judges are scoring it. Significant, I think, that 2 of the judges are American, and American judges, as we know, place great store by aggression. We haven't seen too much of that from Rocchigiani.
Little bit of chopping here from the German. Landed a good left hand as Eubank was pulling away from him. But again, all of these punches just sliding off the champion, turning his head. He's getting better at this defensive work. Keeps his hands up high. Now, this little shot didn't really get through. He came back himself with his own shot, moving his head well and taking the sting out of those blows, taking most of them on top of the forehead.
You heard Ronnie Davis in the Eubank corner saying you've got to keep him back, push him back. Eubank essentially a fighter who likes a man to come on to him. And Rocchigiani hasn't been doing too much of that so far. 9th round.
These body shots from Eubank are definitely taking their toll on Rocchigiani. He's been hit solidly around his floating ribs there with some good solid shots. You see the way Eubank used his head there, just tucked up nice and tight and pulled out to the side. Bobbed his head down, took a step to the right and got himself out of trouble. Moving left to right, and that's good stuff from him. He's getting better at that, no question about it. Rocchigiani didn't... he promised us that he was going to force Eubank back all the time. He's doing as much standing off himself as Eubank normally does.
I bet he wishes he could roll up this crowd and put it in his pocket and take it wherever it goes. Fantastic support. Rarely hear support like this for a hometown fighter. For the sort of fanaticism, I haven't really heard anything like it outside Latin countries.
See, again, Rocchigiani standing off and not doing enough punching, not doing enough forcing either. Eubank stepping around him and landing the cleaner blows and just getting off marginally quicker than the German. You can see the frustration on the German. Just losing his cool and losing his composure, turning around sometimes. A sign of the ejection. Couple of punches and then he goes walkabout. Eubank, that's he's the best guy at that I know.
Keeps on getting away with it.
See him taking a nice little walk away. Big breather for 10 or 15 seconds. Throws a couple of punches, holds on for a while, steps out and does the same thing.
And it's stamina sapping for an opponent to come looking for him.
Get those punches off quick and then gets his head moving. It's good. He's definitely impressive the way he's moving his head more, but Rocchigiani throwing some good little short uppercuts there.
And once again, Eubank digging a left hook into the belly. Another decent round. They're getting closer, though. And Ronnie Davis says, come on, out to the corner. Get yourself down. Welcome back. Round 10. And time beginning to run out now for Rocchigiani if he's to make any impression. And I think he realises it. And I think his corner realise it too. Definite signs he's trying to pick the pace up. Work has looked so much sharper the last 2 or 3 rounds, Barry McGuigan.
Yeah, Eubanks is starting to slow down, and Rocchigiani is standing on top of him on lots of occasions, so he's landing the better share of punches in the last few rounds that he's done throughout the fight. But again, he stops, he's just punching sporadically, and he's not doing enough clean scoring. Eubanks is punching as much as he is, and in my opinion, landing the more solid and powerful blows. Rocchigiani is fighting with the sort of peekaboo, Floyd Patterson style, hands up around the face and not throwing enough blows. And he's supposed to be an offensive southpaw. He's been as much defensive as offensive in this fight. You can talk a great fight when you're outside the ropes, and when you get in there, it's a different story. You get somebody as intimidating as Eubank standing and staring right at you. It's a different kettle of fish.
No doubt in my mind the occasion got to the challenger. In the early rounds, he looked very tense, pale and nervous when he got into the ring. Took him 2 or 3 rounds to get warmed up, and if Eubank does win this fight, he won it in rounds 1 to 3, 1 to 4 on my scorecard. It's getting roughed up now by the German. Thank you. Eubank can look after himself if there's a tear up. Good right from Eubank. Up comes the German with a couple of southpaw jabs.
A lot of those blows are landing on Eubank's shoulder. He's moving the head so well. A few of them are banging him on top of the head. Some of them landing on his shoulder. And this has got to be one of the final warnings from the referee about Eubank ducking low.
Yes, he's sailing close to the wind, isn't he? In my book, he's just as much sinned against as sinning, but the referee might not see it like that. A huge arc of television lights over this ring. Eubank still scorning the stool, but I got a glimpse over the other side of the ring. I've got a feeling that the challenger might have a cut on the right eye. Could see his corner working feverishly on that right eye with swab sticks. Getting a general view of the ring. I'll be very interested to have a look at the challenger when he comes out. He's at the wrong side of us to the way we're sitting, so I can't exactly tell you. I'm looking at his left eye at the moment, which isn't much good when I think his right eye's cut. But I've got a feeling the right eye has gone. And I think that happened right at the end of the round. There, you see Wolfgang Wilke. Yes, he was putting a smear of Vaseline on there. And I'm pretty sure he did pick up a nick on the right eye, right in the corner of the eye at the end of that round. This is the 11th though. We have 2 rounds to go.
Eubank just needs to finish strong to be sure of this. It was a good start to the round, forcing the challenger back and banging away with punches, but he can't afford to allow Rocchigiani to match him blow for blow. He's got to be out in front.
And you can certainly see that cut quite clearly for yourselves now. Corner of the right eye of Rocchigiani.
Eubank going walkabout, and Rocchigiani can't afford to allow him to do that. He's got to stay on top of him. He's got to just pour those punches on. When he drops those hands and walks to the left and walks to the right, Rocchigiani's got to stay on him. Just step right up on top of him and whack him. Eubank well in the driving seat. And this guy hasn't hurt him all night long. He's hit him with some good shots. Hasn't took a flinch out of him.
Oh, now he's in trouble.
There you go.
Now he's in trouble. Referee Gino Rodriguez instructing the judges to deduct a point for persistently ducking low. And this could make it a little closer than it needs be. And Eubank responds to the challenge. And so does Rocchigiani.
The Gemma was the first one to back off there, Dave.
Yeah, I was going to say more action crammed into this minute or so since the warning than we've had in many of the preceding rounds. This has given Rocchigiani new heart, and it's given Eubank maybe just the jolt up the backside he needs. Realise he's got to do 6 minutes solid action to keep his title.
Yeah, Rocchigiani forcing the pressure here. He's winning this round. He's coming up to the end of the round, and Eubank has got to remember he's going to be deducted a point as well. So this could be a 2-point round for Rocchigiani.
Well, now it's very interesting. A 10-8 round to the German, and on my card that just gives Eubank a 1-point advantage going into the last. Could go either way. Got a glimpse there of Rocchigiani's girlfriend, Christian Traeger, and it's rumoured, you know, that if he wins this fight, there's going to be a parson waiting in the dressing room to marry them afterwards. There she is, there's Christian. She's credited with reforming the wild man of German boxing.
Good attacks here from Rocchigiani. Little short, solid blows, but he kept those hands pumping, banging away at Eubank, and he nailed him with a couple of good, clean punches.
Last round, all to play for. Wolfgang Wilke have done a good job on that eye. 12th round. Oh, you wouldn't believe this. We've lost some of the TV lights. Don't worry, it's not your eyes. Well, it's all happening here in the Deutschlander Halle. Big round for either of these two men will swing it. Eubank very tired now. And still with enough savvy and enough stamina to make Rocchigiani miss with very crude looking swings. That's better. Champion finishing the stronger. Well, he's done the groundwork now. Needs a big last 30 seconds just to catch the judge's eye.
Pretty close round all the same, Dave. There's a little between them. And they're both very tired now. A lot of holding on. A couple of punches that grab each other. Just less than a minute and a half to go, as you can see. Rocchigiani has eaten a lot of heavy, solid body shots, and you can see where his pace has dropped. And when he gets up close like that, he can't get off with his shots too. He's tired himself, and he's a big, tall, skinny guy for 12 stone, and he's had to fry himself to make that weight. Oh, Eubank again dropped perilously low.
Little flurry from the German, but for me, not enough to swing this round. Hasn't been a good round for him. More work's been done by Eubank, who comes back again. There's a picture of one tired challenger. Look at him, mouth gaping open, sucking in great lungfuls of air. The crowd trying to lift him for one last decisive burst. Just misses with a right uppercut. Eubank too close. Nice try.
That's what you call sending a postcard. There's Hail Mary written all over that uppercut.
It's all over. The bell has gone. The fight is over. And now we have to wait. On my card, let me just quickly tot it up. Well, no doubt, Platinum Eubank. Haven't seen that one before. The crowd whistling. You can see the damage to Rocchigiani's right eye there. I make it 115-113 Eubank. I make it Eubank by 2 rounds, even despite that point deduction. But it's not our cards that matter. I know Barry's got it scored similar to the way I have. It's down to Mike Gliena and Cesar Ramos and Frank Skilbred. They score each round individually, and the scoring slips then go to the WBO supervisor, Ed Levine. And Mr. Levine has now had a look at the slips, and I think we're just about ready. Chris looks quite satisfied. Here we go. Gerhard Müller has got the result. And we'll see what I can do to translate for you.
Der Punktrichter Gliena, Eubank 114, Rocchigiani 113. 100.
Well, the boos indicate that one of the judges has given it to Eubank. 114, 113. And that is 115, 113, I think, to Eubank from Cesar Ramos. That's what I scored it. Oh, I don't believe this. Judge Skilbred, 118, 109. I don't know what fight he was watching. There's no doubt, though, it's a unanimous decision. Eubank still a champion. Mike Gliena, 114, 113. Cesar Ramos, 115, 113. And Frank Skilbred, with all due deference to him, 118 to 109. Well, not the result that the Germans wanted, but the result that Eubank wanted. He is still WBO champion of the world in his 14th world title fight.